Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk about one of the most serious issues of our society, which is rape. I'd like you guys to imagine yourselves in a situation where you don't want to get a tattoo, but I really want to give you one. You say no. If I ignored your consent, didn't care about your opinion, and went right ahead to give you a tattoo, how would you feel? No means no. The one word that is often ignored by a rapist before committing rape. Newer laws, protests, and marches. And all for what? We are getting nowhere. We're getting nowhere near a safer environment. The more I thought about this, I realized that in order to solve a problem, we have to take a look into where it began and not what it caused. And where all of this begins is with the rapist. What's even more astonishing is that many people don't even know what rape is. So, what is rape? Rape is when someone forces sex on another person against their consent. Here, consent means the willingness of the two people participating in such activities. Now that we've understood what rape is, let's take a look into the different intentions of a rapist. What most people fail to understand is that rape is not always about obtaining sexual gratification, rather, a way to assert dominance over the opposite gender by making them feel weak, powerless, and helpless, terrorizing them long after the crime has been committed. Another reason is to take revenge. In our society, virginity is considered something sacred and held close to heart by many people. So rapists feel that by taking away someone's virginity, they're leaving a permanent scar, both emotionally and physically, tormenting them even after the crime has been committed. And some rapists even find joy by looking at their victims suffer. Now that is what we call as sadistic behavior. Then, what are the factors which are leading to such behavior and mindsets? We tend to become the people we grow up with, and we tend to adapt to the factors in which we're raised in. So the environment in which a person grows up plays a significant role in shaping their mindset, their understanding of power, consent, and relationships. Children who grow up in abusive households where abusive behavior, domestic violence are common may come to view abusive behavior as normal. This may lead to them internalizing unhealthy relationships in the future. Not only this, even parenting, which is overly controlling, ignorant, or emotionally distant, can create an environment for the child where they lack a healthy model for emotional expression, communication, and empathy. Not only this, even children who grow up without boundaries and have no consequences for their appropriate behavior as well. Another reason as to why I feel that we see more of these cases every day is because both the genders don't know how to interact with each other. Many schools, despite being co-ed, segregate the two genders because they think it's a distraction upon their interaction. I myself grew up in a co-ed school and I've learned a lot from my guy friends. Whatever they're comfortable with, what they're not comfortable with, and I've done the same to them. This way we've learned a lot from each other and we will carry with us for the rest of our lives. This is why I feel it is important that children grow up interacting with each other at a very young age. Another sin that haunts a society is porn. Porn is easily accessible to anyone on the web, and when children are exposed to such content at a very young age, this may develop wild thoughts in them regarding the opposite gender and make them objectify them as well. And even people who watch porn also want to act it out, and they do so with or without the consent of the other person. Porn showcases acts of aggression and sexual violence. We have to understand that this is not a problem that can be solved overnight. Rather, we have to take it step by step. And the first step begins at home. Growing up, it's important that parents teach their children how to respect others irrespective of their gender and their status. Parents themselves should be role models for the children on how they treat each other and avoid bringing in stereotypical gender-specific roles. Other methods can be implementing sex education nationwide. And we also have to make sure that none of the perpetrators walk free, irrespective of their status, irrespective of their wealth and their influence. Now, don't consider this as someone else's problem. This will be the society in which your children and your loved ones will grow up in. So let's make it a good one. Thank you.